Well, Charlie, it feels like we're in full swing here at Harvest. What's going on today?
Well, we are bringing in a lot of Red Mountain fruit, particularly Merlot and a little bit of Syrah, and a little bit of Chardonnay off of Red Mountain. And then other fruit, we picked a little bit of Merlot outside of Red Mountain. And then in addition, we're picking some Chardonnay from French Creek Vineyard, which is between Prosser and Benton City, just off of Old Inland Empire Highway.
So today's the 30th of September. How long ago did you start picking grapes?
We started on a week ago Wednesday. So we brought a little bit of Merlot in from Red Mountain and actually have pressed that off already. So we're well on our way, and a little bit of lull now. There's always a mad dash to begin with, but we expect to keep going. Looks like a little bit of weather coming at us over the weekend, but hopefully we can get through that, and we'll be picking a lot of Merlot next week as well.
Is this as late as you've started?
No, actually, last year we started a little bit later, about 3 or 4 days later on the Merlot. And then if we look at the numbers and times we're picking, we were a little bit later with what we've picked so far last year. But it does look like some of the rest of the Merlot will be right where we were last year, or maybe a little bit later than last year.
It's always hard to ask a winemaker about quality because you got to sell this wine eventually. But how does the quality look?
I mean, I think it looks fine from what we're seeing off of Red Mountain so far. We like what we're getting. Maybe a little bit too early, but the crop levels seem to be off just a little bit from what we're picking so far, and the quality's been good given the year and a little bit of loss that we've had. We expect the quality to be fine, but I always like to look at things once we've got them in a barrel and they're through ML and dry, and then we'll really be able to give a good analysis of what the vintage is really like.
This is a new building for you. You moved in, in January, I guess?
Right.
You kind of had an idea how Harvest would work, but has it been working out pretty well for you?
Yeah, it's really worked pretty well. We have a lot of room to do a lot of different operations at the same time. And the way I designed it is, there's equipment is all on wheels and moves so that we can, crush fruit and roll things away and be filling barrels there half an hour later. So yeah, it's worked really well with the slope in the floor and the drains. We can do a lot of different operations at the same time. Yesterday we were crushing fruit and pressing reds at the same time and filling barrels. So it's working the way we wanted to, and it's great to have this much room.
For those who don't know, tell us the background of this building.
It was the old Budweiser distributorship, R&R Beverage, King Beverage, and they outgrew the building. It was actually built in 1993. It's a tilt-up concrete building. They outgrew it probably in somewhere around 2008 and moved out to 395 north of Pasco, and it sat empty. And Stacy and Russ Hamilton purchased the building. I make wine for them, and we worked out a deal, and I'm leasing the building, and I'm really liking it now.
And you've got a lot of capacity here. How much wine can you make in this building?
Well, we're going to do about 300 tons here this year. We have capacity for about 3,000 barrels. So we are storing some barrels for people that don't have enough barrel storage themselves. So it'll take us a while to outgrow the barrel capacity. And we have, more room in here to do more, more fermentation all the time. So we'll see. It depends on the old sales end of things and how fast we can, grow things. But we do have capacity for other people as they grow their labels as well.
You've got a lot going on. You're crushing grapes. You got fermenters going. You got winemakers coming in and out. You got grapes coming in. And then you got these guys making, and you're actually manufacturing fermenters for you out back.
Yeah, this is the nature of Harvest. It's always intense. I always think winemakers are more logistics people than anything during Harvest. So I'm talking with truckers and coordinating getting bins out for picking 3 days ahead of time. And so it's great, though. It's a great feeling. It's never boring. It's always kind of exciting, and you're starting over again, and it's always fun, even after 24 years.
No, you're not going to be doing any national sales calls for the next few weeks,
I don't
right?
think so. If they want to talk to us, they got to come here.
Yeah. So end of September now, when do you expect Harvest to finish?
Well, I think we're going to need all of October to get all the Cabernet in, and I would imagine we'll finish in November. Things will, as long as the weather cooperates, things will always kind of fall over a little bit into November, and not just for us, but for the bigger guys as well. Just the nature of, there's so much fruit left, you only have so much time to get it in, and you can only turn the tanks so quickly. So it'll be a busy, very intense month of October, but I feel good about it, and the weather's cooperated so far, and things are ripening up nice, and so hopefully we'll get all that last bit of later site Cabernet in the door.
I'm seeing on these bins it says Wine Boss. What's that about?
Oh, it's a little bit of a new marketing thing we're doing with what I'm doing in this building and making wine for a lot of other people. I have a LLC name for it called Venacious. Not the greatest marketing term, so people came up with this Wine Boss term, all in fun, sort of like the Cake Boss thing.
Right.
And so that's what we're using, just sort of to market what we're doing here, and so it's all in fun, nothing serious.
I noticed even the Wi-Fi network's called the Wine Boss.
It is. You're right. So you tapped into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are having some fun with it. If it moves our business forward and helps us sell more wine, it's all good.
All right, Charlie. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Andy.